Hey y'all, welcome to Wendy's Parade. I'm Wendy. Here we talk about perfume, we do perfume reviews. I guess I do them. It's not a bunch of people here with me. But today we're actually going to talk about alternatives to decluttering, methods of decluttering. Decluttering is without getting into all of it, it's a lot. We live in a horribly consumerist society. I was just watching this thing about just the volume of returns because online shopping has gotten so huge in the last couple of years, and the stuff we buy is so cheap. It all just when you return it, it just gets like thrown away. Like so much of our shit just gets like pitched. I know people feel good, and I used to feel like this too. Like, oh well, I'm donating my clothes to Goodwill, and all the crap you give to Goodwill, because then you can just go shopping again, right? Because your closet's not full, but 80% of what you donate gets thrown away. It all gets thrown away. I think also when we get overwhelmed by our stuff, it's more a feeling of this is too much. It's getting bigger than me. But then you still get that feeling of, and now I want something else. So look, this is just for me. This is what I think. This is whatever anyone else does is their business. It's not mine. Whatever works for them, whatever method works for them. If, donating or selling or giving away 100 perfumes and then buying another 200 and then the cycle continues, if that makes you happy and that works, that's great. This is just some things that I've been thinking about. So no offense intended. Also, if you're a normal, rational, sane person and you only have 10 or 20 perfumes, this probably will not apply to you because you're healthy and rational and sane. So I have them written down in my little notebook. So I have 8 things we can maybe do or try or do an alternative to a declutter. So all that out of the way, I'm sorry, I'm 2 minutes and I'm starting to ramble. So the first thing is clean out your stash, right? How many of us have samples, decants, minis? How many of us have things that are lying on their side or screw top bottles or whatever? Does something have a sprayer that doesn't work? Is something leaking? Is something down to the last half an inch or quarter of an inch and it's not even like good anymore because it's super old? Are you going to actually wear that sample? Is that decant starting to dry up? Sometimes you just actually need to go through and say, this is just a bag that I'm going to give away or donate or give to my coworkers or my sisters or whoever, or even sometimes it really is just junk. So number one, go through your stuff, dust it, clean it, get rid of some stuff. I mean, it happens, especially, I don't even know where all my samples have come from. I've never been handed a sample by someone in a store in years. So there's that. The second thing to try is actually look at your scents and decide what amount is good for you. Now that could be, I want to have a shelf of 50. I want to have a case of 100. I want to have a certain space. Like, it doesn't even matter the volume, but whatever, if I have a tray or a box or a shelf and whatever, it needs to be contained. And then if you have more than that, then yeah, at that point you may need to declutter, sell, donate, gift, whatever. But maybe just hold yourself to, this is the limit. I only want 25 perfumes. I only want a tray of scents. And then hold yourself to that. You can, whether you declutter out of that or buy more from that or whatever, just decide what works for you and maybe stick to that instead of just being mindless about it. The third thing that I don't really do much anymore as far as decluttering goes, and this kind of allows you to get more back into your collection, is swapping. There's a huge swap page on Fragrantica. There's swap pages on Reddit. There's swap pages and groups on Facebook, which I'm not on Facebook, but there's a million ways to swap. I've done a million swaps and they were good until recently. Just off topic, the last swap I did, I think the universe is telling me just don't swap anymore. I had a really nice bottle of a new Guerlain, Flora Selvaggia. It wasn't really my thing, but it was bought new from Guerlain. I had just sprayed it a few times, and I'm not saying I'm going to get back what I paid for it because I used it. I opened it up, I used it, but it was a brand new perfume. I had literally maybe used a mil, if that. The person I swapped with was like, well, I really need to know that the bottle's in good condition and I need this and I need that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we traded pictures and everything. She sent me an Hermes bottle, Eau de Merveille, I think. And that bottle was not full, but I don't care. I don't need to get the same value back or whatever. But the bottle was scratched to shit. And I was like, the bottle appearance to me is important. I need them to have caps. I need them to not look like they were like dinging around in a dryer, sent through the wash cycle. I was a little like, wow, you're asking me for this. But anyway, on the same swap, I did a sample swap with someone, and I got my samples together, and I made some decants, and I put it in a nice little velvet bag with a bow. They sent me a sample that was like, it was contaminated. It was just complete. I wasn't even something I was going to put on my skin. So I was like, instead of getting mad, I was like, this is not something I'm going to do anymore. Not to discourage you guys. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but swapping would be a way to be like, look, I'm really not going to use this. Someone else has a bottle I really want. And at least it kind of is even that way. The next thing you can do if you have a large collection and your whole collection is overwhelming you is that you can just make a seasonal tray or a monthly tray, especially if it's stuff that if you do live in somewhere where there's 4 seasons, or it's bottles that you do like or love and that, you just haven't worn in a long time. It's a good way to kind of force yourself to use your collection and wear all your stuff and wear all of your bottles. So using a tray or a box or whatever you want, just to concentrate on things that you have not maybe worn in a while and just to reacquaint yourself. And that will also be able to tell you, hey, I haven't worn this in a year or 2 years. And then you may say, oh my gosh, I missed it. What was I thinking? Or like, yeah, this isn't doing it for me. Or, oh, this went bad, or, whatever. Along those lines, there's also just shopping your wardrobe. Like if you get that itch to just, I need something else, I want something new. If you have more than 20 or 30 perfumes, there's probably a perfume you haven't worn in a long time. So just shop your wardrobe. Wear something you haven't worn in a long time. The other thing that you can do, which will also serve as cleaning out, is organize your samples and organize your decants. I know for my samples that I've gotten, they all, for some reason, start to, they evaporate. And same thing with decants, especially. They do not last forever. And if you're one of those people that has, like I am, where I can't afford to buy a lot of fancy new bottles that cost $300, but maybe I'll pay $34 for a decant, I should be using it. I shouldn't just be like, because I don't know, decants are just, I don't reach for them like I do the bottles. The bottles are just, they're bottles. I don't know why. And thus the decants are smaller, the sprayers aren't as good, but be that as it may, the juice is the same. So if you have some nice decants, organize your decants, start using start using them up, and then they'll be gone. And then you'll be able to say, I either want another one, I want a replacement, or it's not available or whatever, but at least it won't be going to waste. And you'll be using your stuff. On the method of using your stuff up, I didn't want to put pan porn in the title of this because, porn isn't a bad word, but that's not what we're talking about here. But there's this subreddit on Reddit called pan porn, and it has like 1 million subscribers. And it literally is just people posting pictures of empty makeup bottles and empty, foundation cakes and everything else. So use your stuff up. If you have a full bottle and there's only 5 mils left, it's probably going to go bad. You're at the end of the life. Just use it up and either say goodbye or get another one or whatever. So plus it's a nice little project. If you have, I don't know why, it makes me happy to have my empties, my about to be empties kind of front and center and be like, I'm going to use them up. You guys know what I'm talking about. Even if you have a lot of skincare stuff or lotion or hair stuff, sometimes you just want to use your shit up. And that's a way to actually use things up and at least be, make them useful. So use your stuff up. The last and most important and the hardest thing to do with decluttering is just not to buy anything. If you're getting overwhelmed by your stuff, it's because you have too much. And sometimes I think that it's more impulsive to say, I'm getting rid of all these. And then, 3, 4, 5 months later, you do a haul or you go on FragranceNet or, you're at TJ Maxx or whatever, and then you just buy a bunch of crap. So, and it's kind of like losing weight. If you go on a crash diet, some people go on crash diets and they don't gain any weight back. But the best way to lose weight is to be thoughtful and slow and build new habits. And I think decluttering is the same thing. Whether it's clothes or books or whatever you need to declutter. Sorry, I need to sit still. I think that the slow method is a little healthier. I think it keeps you more mindful. And I think that it's just less impulsive. Buying shit gives you a dopamine rush. It could be a little bit of an addiction. Not as bad as like heroin, but still, I mean, if you get control over your compulsions and you build new habits, and if you're overwhelmed by something and getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and then there's like a hole in your collection, and then it almost gives you a reason to buy stuff. And I think the whole idea of decluttering is starting to be co-opted. It's just just another reason for us to consume and throw away and waste energy and waste environmental resources and waste people's time and waste gas and waste just everything. And then, it's a nice excuse. Well, I decluttered, I can buy more shit. So if you're truly feeling, or if I'm truly feeling overwhelmed by my collection, I like to clean and organize and really look at it and not just get rid of a bunch of stuff as an excuse to buy more stuff. So probably the best alternative to decluttering is to not buy anything. And then just like slowly losing weight, your collection will slowly get smaller and more manageable. And you won't do anything rash like getting rid of your likes. I don't recommend getting rid of your likes. I don't know. I live somewhere where there's 4 seasons, so there's things, and I think I've talked about this. There's stuff I'm going to wear. It's like 4 degrees out right now. I have to go shovel. There are things that I'm not going to wear in summertime. They just don't bloom right. They don't smell right. And stuff I wear right now, I'm not going to wear when it's 95 degrees out and I'm sweating my ass off. It's just not going to happen. And even then, sometimes there's certain perfumes I like to wear to go to bed or to go out or to go to sleep, or if I'm whatever mood I'm in. There's just a lot of things that, like, just because I'm not reaching for it every day and just because it's not in my top 10 of all favorites doesn't mean I don't still really like it. Perfume that you pick it up and you're like, this means nothing. This is meh. I'm never going to wear this. I don't like it. It's boring, or I don't like the way it smells or whatever. Yeah, don't hold on to those. That's dumb. But if you like something, there's nothing wrong with keeping things that you really like. I mean, I love black bean enchiladas. I'm not going to eat them every single day. I just, along with anything else, there's songs that I love. I like other songs too, though. So I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping your likes. And the thing with likes too is that if you ever use up the bottle, you're probably not going to replace it. So, maybe there's even a healthy aspect with just dealing with likes and not loves. And then you're just like, oh my God, they're going to reformulate. I need to get it back up. They're going to discontinue, blah, blah, blah. But I guess that's another story. But anyway, those are just some thoughts I had about managing this insane perfume obsession that I have. And tell me what you think. Maybe for some people, just doing the declutter thing works. And maybe you're healthier than me. Maybe if you've done like a massive declutter, you then go on to buy 1 or 2 bottles a year, and that's all you do, and you're a normal, healthy person. Maybe you only have 20 perfumes to start with, and that's wonderful. Some days I really wish I was one of you. But anyway, if you stayed for the 14 minutes that this video is, I thank you very much. And this is Wendy's Parade. I love talking with you guys, so please let me know if you have any comments. Have a wonderful day.